Hi guys, it's Miss Meadows and it's story time. And today we're going to be reading the book Otis. I love this book. I've read it a couple times to my previous preschool classes, so I thought I'd share it with you. And before we start any book, we always identify the parts of the book. This is the front cover, back cover, and the spine. Very good. And we're working on 3 print concepts. The first one is the title, which is the name of the book, and the title of this book is Otis. The second one is the author, which is the person who writes the book, and the author of this book is Lauren Long. And the third print concept is a brand new print concept we're just learning, and it's the illustrator. And the illustrator is the one who draws all the pictures in the book. And the illustrator and the author are the same for this book, and it's also Lauren Long. Let's get started. Otis. There was once a friendly little tractor. His name was Otis, and every day Otis and his farmer worked together, taking care of the farm they called home. Otis liked to work. But after working hard all day, Otis was ready to unwind and play. He would ride the rolling hills and skirt mud pond down by the corn. He would leapfrog bales of hay and explode through the haystacks. On occasion, he would chase a rabbit or play ring around the rosy with the ducks to the sound of the sturdy put-puff, puffity-puff. And sometimes, at the end of the day, he would just sit under the apple tree and watch the farm below. Every night, tired but happy, Otis would puff, puff into the little stall in the barn that was all his. One night when Otis was fast asleep, the farmer brought a beautiful baby calf into the barn. The calf bawled and bawled for her mother. But when the sleepy sound of a soft puff, puff, puffity puff came from the next stall, the scared little calf stopped bawling and drifted off to sleep. From that day on, the calf started following the little tractor wherever he went. Put, puff, puffity, puff. She followed him over the rolling hills and down by the mud pond. She was right behind him, leapfrogging bales of hay. And the calf made their games a ring around the rosy all the better. Sometimes at the end of the day, the two of them would just sit together under the apple tree and watch the farm below. Otis loved his little calf, and the little calf loved Otis. Then one day, the farmer surprised everyone with a brand new yellow tractor. "Time to move out, Otis," the farmer said. He took Otis out of the little stall in the barn that was all his and parked him back behind the barn. Then he picked the big yellow tractor into the stall next to the little calf. But the little calf didn't like the big yellow tractor. He had deep rumbling snore that shook the stalls when he slept. There was no one to put the little calf gently to sleep, no one to spend her days with. And Otis? Otis could not even see his farm. As the weeds began to grow over his tires, his friend often sat with him, but she could not get him to play like the good old days. It was early summer when the farmer discovered a poster. Who was the prettiest calf in the land? Judges will decide at the county fair and award a fancy blue ribbon to the winner. The farmer knew the answer. He would show the little calf. But on that morning of the fair, the little calf was nowhere to be found. She had wandered down to the mud pond by the cornfield to cool off. When she waded into the muddy water, her feet sank. With every step, she sank deeper and deeper and deeper. The little calf was stuck in the mud pond. "Get the hands!" the farmer shouted when he saw her. All the farmhands came running with their ropes, but the more they tugged, the more sunk the calf. "Get the big yellow tractor!" the farmer shouted. "He can save her." But the big tractor just scared the little calf. She sank in deeper and deeper. Nearby, farmers began to gather. Then they called the fire chief Douglas and the fire truck. The farmer shouted, "They can save our little calf." But the sight of the big red fire truck startled the little calf even deeper. The farmer was fit to be tied. If the farmhands and the big tractor and even fire chief Douglas and his fire truck couldn't save the little calf, who could? I think I know who can. Suddenly, the little calf's ears perked up. Over the hum of the growing crowd, there came a faint sound in the distance. Some rhythmic puff, 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 puffity puff. The crowd turned and looked. The sound became louder. Puff, puff, puffity puff. And all at once, Otis puffed, puffed from around the barn. He turned and headed straight toward the mud pond. There comes Otis to save the day. Otis puffed, puffed down the rolling hill and pulled right up next to the muddy water's edge. The calf heard the friends puffing, puffing, and bawled. It was something like a hello. Then, to the sound of his gentle chuff and the amazement of all the people in the crowd, Otis slowly began to circle the pond. He could, and he circled and circled, and the little calf turned and turned, never taking her eyes off of her friend. With each ring Otis made around the mud pond, the muddy grip loosened until the calf was able to stumble out of the pond on her own. The two friends had found each other again. Otis led the calf right down the dusty road toward the village, and everyone threw flowers as they went, following them into town. It looked like a happy parade. No one needed a fancy blue ribbon to tell them that the calf was a special calf. Otis was a special tractor, and the two of them were special friends. From that day on, the farmer discovered that with Otis's puttering puff beside the chicken coop, his chickens laid more eggs. At milking time, with Otis's gentle chuff nearby, his cows produced more milk. On occasion, Otis even got to join the farmer and the big yellow tractor out of the fields. But often, at the end of the day, Otis would just sit with her friend under the apple tree and watch the farm below. The end. Good job listening. Good job paying attention. Proud of you guys. That was a little bit of a long book. Hope you didn't fall asleep. And I hope you paid attention the whole time. All right, guys. I'll see you later. That's getting you ready for kindergarten. You're going to read books like that. All right, guys. Bye. Miss you all.